Wait, before you assume she's just being nice, let me ask you this. What if her quiet consistency is actually her loudest confession? See, most men expect grand gestures when a woman is into them. They're looking for bold declarations, flirty texts, or dramatic moves. But the truth is, when a woman genuinely likes you, it rarely starts that loud. It's subtle, it's patient, it's real. Now pay attention to what I'm about to say, because if you miss this, you'll miss her completely. When a woman starts prioritizing you subtly but consistently, that's one of the biggest signs she's feeling something for you. She might not tell you outright, but the way she shows up in your life is her quiet way of choosing you. Think about it. She texts you back not just when she has free time, but when she's in the middle of things. She remembers that meeting you had, asks how it went, or checks in when you mentioned you were stressed. It's not random. That's emotional presence. That's interest in motion. She doesn't need to always be the first to reach out, but you'll notice that when you do, she's receptive. She engages. She doesn't just give dry, one-word replies. She gives you her attention, her focus, even if it's just for a few minutes. In a world where distractions are everywhere, that kind of energy is intentional. And here's the part most men overlook. Consistency is her way of showing security. She's saying, you can count on me. I'm here. She might not say those words out loud, but that's what her presence is communicating. She doesn't flake on plans. She doesn't ghost you when things get busy. She stays in the picture because you matter enough for her to make space. Now, don't confuse this with obsession or overavailability. A woman who truly values herself and you won't chase or beg, but she will invest emotionally, mentally, and in the time she chooses to spend around you. Her actions might be small, but they stack up and they form a pattern. When that pattern is you, don't ignore it. Men lose out on meaningful connections every day because they're waiting for the fireworks while missing the candlelight. But that steady flame, that's how real interest burns. The question is, are you paying attention or are you still looking for noise? Stop assuming words are the only truth a woman tells you, because the reality is her body will confess things her mouth never dares to. Most men are trained to listen, but very few are trained to observe, and that's exactly where they miss the signs. When a woman is into you, her body language becomes her secret language, and if you can read it, you'll see she's been speaking to you all along. She may not walk up and say, I like you, but look at what her eyes are doing. Does she hold your gaze just a little longer than necessary? Does she glance at you when you're not looking and quickly look away when caught? That isn't by accident. That's her mind pulling her eyes toward the person she's drawn to. And that's you. Watch her when she's around you. Is she standing a little closer than usual? Does her body lean in when you talk, even if she doesn't realize it? A woman who's interested will naturally gravitate toward your energy. Her body reacts even before she's decided what to say. She'll angle her feet toward you, she'll mirror your movements, and when she laughs, oh, you'll notice. It's not just a laugh, it's an invitation. She's not just enjoying the joke, she's enjoying you. She might fix her hair, touch her neck, or adjust her clothes while talking to you. These aren't random. These are self-soothing signs that show she's a little nervous, but in a good way. Her subconscious is trying to make her feel more comfortable, more attractive, more presentable. That's because she cares what you think. That's because you matter in that moment. But here's the most important part. These signs only appear when she feels safe, intrigued, or emotionally charged around you. And that doesn't happen with just anyone. So if she's displaying this around you, if her body is open, expressive, responsive, it means there's something there she may not have said yet. Something she hopes you'll pick up on without forcing her to be the first to reveal it. Most men look for words, but they miss the real signal. The body never lies. Her posture, her touch, her eyes, they're all saying, I notice you, I feel you, I want to be seen by you. And if you're truly paying attention, you won't just see it, you'll feel it too. Let me stop you right there. Because if she remembers that one thing you said weeks ago, it's not just a good memory, it's emotional focus. That's interesting. Most men completely miss this sign because it feels small, but in reality it's massive. When a woman is into you, she starts studying you, not like an assignment, but like a story she wants to be part of. She'll start asking deeper questions, not just what your favorite food is, but why it's your favorite, not just what you do for work, but how it makes you feel. She's not gathering surface level data. She's trying to understand what makes you you. That's not casual curiosity, that's emotional investment. Think back. Did she remember the name of your childhood dog, or that you had a big presentation last Thursday? Maybe she brought up a dream you told her about when you were half asleep in a conversation. These things don't stick in her mind unless she's paying attention. And she doesn't pay attention like that to everyone. Only the ones she's drawn to, only the ones she feels something for. And when she asks those questions, it's not just because she's bored. She's trying to get closer without pushing too hard. She's navigating your world, seeing where she fits, how you think, what your heart leans toward. And when you see that effort, when you feel her trying to understand, not just your past, but your future, you better believe she's not doing that just for fun. This kind of attention is rare, especially now when most people are too distracted to even remember your name 5 minutes later. So if she remembers, if she circles back to a moment that mattered to you, even slightly, she's signaling, you matter to me too. And don't mistake this for friendliness. There's a difference between polite small talk and purposeful connection. A woman who's into you won't just talk at you. She'll talk into you, into your thoughts, into your goals, into your stories. And that connection, when nurtured, is what turns sparks into something real. So next time she brings up something you forgot you even said, don't brush it off, because when a woman starts remembering the details, it means she's already started writing you into the bigger picture of her life. Let me tell you something most men misread. If she's teasing you, playfully challenging you, or pushing your buttons just a little, that's not a sign she's annoyed. That's a sign she's intrigued. But if you take it personally, if you get defensive or shut down, you'll miss what she's really doing. She's flirting. And not just any kind of flirting, the kind that says, I like you, and I want to see what you're made of. A woman who's into you won't always be soft and sweet right away. Sometimes her affection comes wrapped in playful sarcasm. She might poke fun at your outfit, laugh when you trip over your words, or challenge you when you're too sure of yourself. And that's not disrespect, that's chemistry. She's testing the energy. She's seeing if you can take it, and more importantly, if you can give it back. You see, flirting isn't always about compliments or batting eyelashes. For some women, especially the confident ones, it's about connection through tension. It's a little push to see if you'll push back, a little joke to see if you'll laugh with her. She wants to create a moment, and that moment, if you lean into it, is where attraction is built. Now here's where most men mess it up. They either freeze and become overly serious, or they get offended thinking she's not respecting them. But if you look closer, you'll realize she's opening a door, not closing one. She's inviting you into playful territory where sparks live. And if you step in with confidence, with calm energy, with a sense of humor, that's when the real magic starts. Women love a man who can handle a little pressure, who doesn't get rattled, who can laugh at himself. When she sees that you don't crumble under her teasing, she respects that. When you tease her back without being cruel, she feels seen, matched, excited. That kind of dynamic is magnetic and rare. This isn't about games, it's about rhythm. She's not testing you because she's manipulative. She's doing it because she's curious. Curious if you can hold her energy, challenge her back, and still make her feel safe in the tension. And if you can, you become unforgettable. So the next time she jokes with you, playfully calls you out, or lightly challenges your views, don't retreat. That's not an attack. That's an invitation to connect on a deeper level. Let me ask you something most men never even consider. Why does she seem a little off when you mention another woman? Why does her energy shift, her tone tighten, or her curiosity spike when she hears a female name? That's not coincidence. That's not her being nosy either. That's subtle jealousy, and it's one of the clearest signs she sees you as more than just a friend. When a woman is into you, even if she hasn't said it out loud, she's emotionally invested. And once emotions are involved, anything that threatens her perceived position near you even slightly gets her attention. So when you bring up a female coworker or casually mention you were chatting with someone else, she hears more than the words. She hears potential competition, and her instincts kick in. But she's not going to come out and say, I'm jealous. Most women won't admit that, especially early on. Instead, she might respond with a little sarcasm or downplay it with humor. Maybe she says, oh, she sounds nice, but with a tone that tells you she's not entirely thrilled. Or maybe she suddenly wants to know more. So, how long have you known her? She's fishing, but carefully. Not because she's insecure, but because she's trying to gauge how safe her growing feelings really are. Now, don't confuse this kind of jealousy with drama or possessiveness. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about subtle, instinctive emotional shifts, the kind that happen when someone genuinely cares. A woman who's emotionally checked out won't flinch at another woman's name, but one who's invested, her guard goes up, even if just for a second. You might even notice her behavior change slightly. Maybe she starts being a little more affectionate, a little more responsive, or even just more present after those moments. That's her signaling, hey, I'm still here, don't forget me in all this. And it's not desperation, it's desire. It's her wanting to remain significant in your eyes. The challenge for you is recognizing it without overreacting. If you ignore it completely, you might miss your window. If you overplay it, you might make her feel cornered. But if you respond with calm, confident awareness, by reassuring her with presence and consistency, you make her feel chosen, not compared. So the next time she gets a little quiet or suddenly interested when another woman is mentioned, don't overlook it. Because sometimes that quiet flicker of jealousy is the loudest sign she's hoping she's the only one. Hold up, before you assume she's just being friendly or always around by chance, ask yourself this. Why does she keep showing up where you are, even when there's no real reason to be there? Why does she keep finding excuses to be close, to talk, to... Because when a woman is into you, her presence is never random. It's intentional, even if she doesn't admit it. She may not walk up and confess her feelings, but she'll position herself in your world over and over again. Maybe she drops by just to say something small. Maybe she stays longer in conversations when she could have walked away. Or maybe she shows up at events, spots, or moments where she knows you'll be, never stating it outright, but always finding a way to be part of your space. That isn't manipulation. This is desire working through proximity. She wants to be around you because that's where her comfort is. That's where her curiosity lives. That's where something in her feels more alive. And so she creates opportunities, not to force anything, but to open doors and give you the chance to step through them. You'll notice these little patterns if you're paying attention. She doesn't just talk to you when it's convenient. She seeks it out. She doesn't just laugh at your jokes, she starts building conversations around them. She becomes available, not in a desperate way, but in a warm, steady presence that feels just a little too consistent to be coincidence. And here's the part that matters most. She's not doing it because she has nothing better to do. She's doing it because something about you holds her attention, and she's hoping you'll feel the same. She may pretend it's casual, she may act like she was just in the area or just thought of you, but underneath that, there's intention. There's hope. There's interest. Most men brush this off. They miss it completely. They think she's just friendly or social, but that's where they go wrong, because when a woman wants your attention, she won't always say it with words. Sometimes she just shows up, over and over, waiting for you to notice. So the next time she finds a reason to be near you, to stay a little longer, or to talk about nothing at all, know that in her silence there may be a louder message than any words could ever deliver.